ma'am, this quote was shared with me by my best friend after I could not clear my Punjab Judicial Services. So it really helped me move forward and to kind of see where where I stand. It was by Faiz Ahmed Faiz. It went something like दिल ना उम्मीद तो नहीं ना काम ही तो है लंबी है गम की शाम मगर शाम ही तो है. So it just really put things into perspective, and I was able to kind of handle things better.
Hello everyone. Today we have Edzorb Naina Jindal with us. She has recently secured a rank in Haryana Judicial Services Examination 2024. Over to you, Naina. Please briefly introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. My name is Naina Jindal. I pursued my BLLB honors from Rajiv Gandhi National University of Law, Patiala, and my LLM from National Law University, Delhi in 2022. Following which, I worked in the Election Commission of India in the capacity of a legal researcher. And after that, I pursued preparing for my examinations. I prepared for Punjab Judicial Services and then for Haryana.
Also, Naina, you were doing, as you mentioned, you were doing a job along with the preparation. So how you handled it? So you want to tell our viewers that as well?
Sure, sir. What I did was I gave myself a target every day that I want to finish one particular topic, and that is what I stick to. On average, I would say that I ensured that I was giving at least 4 to 5 hours every day, even during my working, and that is how I ensure that I complete my syllabus and prepare accordingly.
It's good to hear about your academic journey so far, Naina. So how are you feeling after becoming a judge? And what was your family's reaction and kaisa feel ho raha?
Yes, ma'am. I think more than anything else, I feel extremely grateful. Grateful to the God, of course, to my family and my loved ones. And there's a lot of gratitude. And I think this is how my family's reaction is as well. They're also feeling a lot of gratitude. And all in all, everyone's really happy and everything is great.
All right, Naina. Naina, now let's get into the nitty-gritties of your preparation. Tell us about your judicial preparation journey. Also tell me you have started this journey, which is fine. But what was the motivation behind starting this journey? How has this journey been? And please give a general overview about your preparation.
Yes, sir. So I started my journey in 2021. Even though I graduated in 2020 and I had no plans of appearing for judicial services, but when I graduated, COVID was in full flare, and I wanted to do something which was more in touch with the society. I mean, earlier my plans were more to do with corporate sector, but during COVID, I realized that either I wanted to pursue litigation or I want to go into the judicial services. And it is because of that in 2021, I started preparing for the exam. It took me roughly 1.5 years to prepare for it because at no point of time I was only preparing. I also completed my LLM, and then I started working. So it took me 1.5 years. And then I took Punjab Judicial Services. That was my first serious attempt. And that entire process took me almost 10 months. And after that, I appeared for Delhi, but I mean, I missed it by 2 marks, the preliminary examination. And thereafter, I've been preparing for Haryana in 2024. As far as the rough overview is concerned, my idea was to complete my syllabus beforehand, before I give any serious attempt. And after that, I revised, and whichever stage demanded whatever from me, I accordingly worked upon that.
After hearing this, I feel that your journey is a roller coaster. So how did you reinvent yourself after setback in Punjab Judicial Services?
It was, I'll be very honest, it was a very, very difficult time for me personally. And I reached up to the interview. I could not clear the exam. And of course, it was one of the lowest periods in my life. But I was fortunate that Delhi was notified and Haryana was also notified within a span of 2 to 3 months. That was one thing which helped me. Secondly, I also, it took me time, but I realized that I'll only have to get out of that rut. So I think that consistency and just motivation helped me move forward.
Also, Naina, can you please tell us the defining moment of your journey in consonance with Edzorb law?
Yes, sir. So I think I became Premium Plus user in September 2022 with Edzorb. And of course, like I mentioned, I'd already been preparing for the exam. But after subscribing to the Premium Plus of Edzorb, I felt that I felt that I was able to prepare for the exam in a better manner because I was able to solve the questions. I was able to solve the question banks, and soon I mean I've also got through the preliminary examination. Soon I was able to use the blueprints and then even appear for the mains questions that were given to me. So I think in that regard, Edzorb really came into my life at the very right time, and it really helped me.
इट साउंड फैंटास्टिक नैना. सो अब आप मुझे ये बताओ नैना, एक बहुत पर्टिनेंट क्वेश्चन है जो मोस्टली जुडिशियल एस्पिरेंट्स के दिमाग में आता है कि एक स्टेट पर फोकस करें या मल्टीपल स्टेट पर फोकस करें, बिकॉज एज यू नो द वैकेंसीज ऑफ जुडिशियरी आर अनप्रेडिक्टेबल एंड वोलेटाइल. सो इज इट वाइज फॉर एस्पिरेंट्स टू गो विद मल्टीपल स्टेट्स, बिकॉज वी हैव बीन टोल्ड सिंस आवर चाइल्डहुड नॉट टू कीप ऑल our eggs in one basket, एंड डू यू थिंक थोड़ा सा रिस्क बाइफिकेटेड होना चाहिए?
So, मेरे personal opinion में, it is wise to bifurcate the risk factor. I personally also did. I primarily prepared for Punjab and Haryana, but I also appeared for Delhi, and I also prepared for it. And I think it is wise because 60 to 70% syllabus in all the states remains the same. Therefore, just to restrict yourself unnecessarily is not wise. That is my opinion.
All right. And also you made Edzorb your friend where we provide content for each and every state, not just for a single state. So that might have helped you in a longer run as well. So Naina, we have spoken a lot about this pertinent thing that it is better to bifurcate the risk of states. And Edzorb also advises the same thing, that never focus on a single state. You should definitely take 2-3 states because vacancies are unpredictable and volatile, and syllabus approx 80% states का similar ही होता है. Okay, Naina, moving further. We want to ask you, what was your strategy to clear this exam? Tell us about your prelims, mains, and if you want, you can cover the interview as well. So can you please tell us the highlights of your preparation?
Yes, sir. First 1.5 years of my preparation, it went solely into covering the syllabus. And of course, I mean, that is, I used to spend 5 to 6 hours on average every day and spend time covering my syllabus. After that, soon prelims for Punjab Judicial Services was notified. And I spent roughly 1.5 months completely covering my syllabus, revising my syllabus that I'd already covered, revising the extensive notes that I'd already made. Of course, also going through the BEAR Act and solving past year questions a little bit. And I think that really helped me. That made me understand what kind of questions I should be expecting. And I'd also covered the syllabus, revised it. And that was my strategy. Although I must mention that I barely made it in the Punjab preliminary examination. But I think I understood what was required, and I was able to crack Haryana's preliminary examination as well with this strategy. After that, for my mains, in this case, Edzorb really came handy because I utilized the blueprints that was provided by Edzorb. In blueprints, I was able to understand what kind of questions I should be expecting in my mains. And honestly, I personally am of opinion that 60-70% of questions remain same in all the states. I mean, there is a question which is bound to be asked about divorce in any case in all the states. Of course, form may be different, but it will be asked. So blueprints gave me an understanding of what to expect, and I worked accordingly. I solved the blueprints, and I also, of course, appeared for the mocks, which were conducted by Edzorb. And this was my strategy. I revised the extensive notes. I made short notes of my extensive notes, and this is what I did for my mains. And I was able to clear my Punjab mains and Haryana mains as well. After that, for my interview, I mean, there is nothing really that one can do except going through live law, being in touch with the latest developments, also, of course, revising the syllabus once, and appearing for the mock interviews. So that is what I did, and this is what my journey has looked like.
So, Naina, after listening to a journey, we feel that you have learned the art of integration. And this is very important to learn this art of integration because इतने कम समय में अपनी जिस भी चीज को आप ड्रीम को रियलाइज करना है, देन इंटीग्रेटेड योर प्रीलिम्स एंड मेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जो समझ ही नहीं पाते कि प्रीलिम्स और मेंस की प्रिपरेशन आइसोलेशन नहीं करनी होती है. वो प्री पैंडेमिक एरा था जो चला गया. आज की प्रिपरेशन डिमांड्स इंटीग्रेशन, एंड आपको प्रीलिम्स और मेंस को साथ में लेकर चलना ही पड़ेगा. आपको रैंक जल्दी चाहिए. So, judiciary aspirants, it is a learning for you that never in your judiciary preparation, you have to prepare for prelims and mains and syllabus. You always have to do integration, and Naina Jindal is in front of us who has learned this art of integration and has got a rank in her Haryana Judicial Service Examination.
I totally agree with you, mentor. So, Naina, in one line, please tell all the judiciary aspirants what was your mantra for prelims as well as mains preparation.
If in one line I have to say it, it would be consistency, along with hard work and rigorous practice. I think that has really helped me, and this is what I focused on throughout my preparation.
Exactly, Naina. As you have mentioned, practice is the key to success. And for result-oriented judicial preparation, you have to practice a lot. And that is the mantra for the judicial service examination. Also, Naina, we want to ask you that what, according to you, is the best way forward to clear the prelims and mains in one go itself?
I mean, I must mention that I myself was not able to do it. However, if somebody were to learn from my mistakes and clear it in one go, I think what they should be doing is really be doing what they will be doing in the examination hall. What I mean to say by that is that in preliminary examination, of course, you have to revise the syllabus, but it is also equally important that you really solve the questions beforehand. You need to understand what kind of questions will be asked, and you need to already have practice in that regard. Likewise, even in mains, it's very important to not just revise, but really practice writing, because it is not just writing that you have to practice. You have to practice writing in a particular time frame. You have to practice writing in a particular format, and you should be very comfortable already beforehand with that. So I think the more one practices, the more they are bound to succeed. And if they do it in one go, I'm sure they'll be able to do that.
ऑलराइट नैना नैना एक और चीज है जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आपके इस जर्नी में, वो है आपके नोट्स जो आपको रैंक ला के देते हैं. सो व्हाट वाज योर नोट्स मेकिंग स्ट्रेटजी एंड हाउ डिड यू गो अबाउट इट?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I made extensive notes, which, like any other aspirant, ran into thousands of pages. But what my notes looked like were, of course, firstly mentioned the Bear Act in my own words. I, of course, did not copy the Bear Act in my notes, but I did write Bear Act in my own words. And then I supplemented that with judgments. And if any interpretation of that particular provision was provided by Supreme Court or any jurist in any book. And along with that, if there were any developments which in live law or otherwise, then I would supplement my notes whenever I would come across that. This is what my notes look like. And I should mention that I used different pens while making my notes, and that really helped me during my revision. So I knew that blue pen is for my Bear Act. I knew that Supreme Court judgments were mentioned with green pen. So whenever I would revise, then it would really help me. I wouldn't have to go through everything. I would understand this is Bear Act. I already know it. I only have to revise the judgment. So this is how I went about.
Also, one more thing, Naina, I just want to ask. Do you think that video lectures are a must to crack any judicial exam, or do you think that practice that is the key fundamental to secure rank in any judiciary exam? What is your opinion?
Ma'am, in my opinion, there is no one way to crack it. Video lectures are not a must, and nothing is a must. However, if I am to say what is most important, I think it is definitely practice. If one practices, they are more likely to succeed. And other things are only mode of how to achieve it. Practice is, of course, a must.
All right, you intend to say that practice can't be replaced, right, with video lectures? Thank you.
Definitely.
Moving forward, Naina, next question which I want to ask you is that Edzorb has a very unique feature that is a mains blueprints. So can you please tell in detail that आपने कैसे यूज किया उनको एंड आपको कितनी हेल्प हुई अपने means blueprint से?
Right. I should mention that that is my favorite feature from Edzorb, and it because firstly, mains is the most important aspect of the examination, because majority of the marks that an aspirant gets, they are in the mains examination. They are the make or break if in their selection. And in mains, of course, one has to practice writing. And now suddenly one feels lost because they do not know as to what area they should be practicing and how much they should be practicing. So blueprints really came handy for me, at least. What I did was that I understood what to expect in a particular state. And further, I understood what area I should be giving more weightage upon, and what questions I should be focusing upon first. So it helped me prioritize my practicing in answer writing. And I think it really helped also. 60 to 65% of the real question paper also consisted of the areas of topics of any particular law that were mentioned in the blueprints. So therefore, I feel that it really helped me in my journey.
So Naina, Edzorb law means blueprint is a secret sauce. And it is really wonderful to see that you understood the technique of the means blueprint. क्योंकि means blueprint क्या करता है नैना, ये आपको एक walled garden provide कर देता है. So ये unlimited garden नहीं है कि आपको सारे topics prepare करने हैं. We fence you in a culminated environment where you have to only prepare certain important topics. And we provide you with the rule of 80-20. 80-20 का rule use कीजिए, and by which 20% concentrated efforts करके आपको 80% results मिल जाएंगे. So minimum 80% questions would come from here. From this, just 20% of concentrated efforts जो आप means blueprint solve करने में करते हो. Because what we all provide, we provide you weightage, हम उसमें आपको repetition भी देते हैं, important topics देते हैं, and this, as you must be aware, and as you are Premium Plus user, that it is the most guarded document of Edzorb law. And mostly Premium users know that how we handle for all the states. You have solved for Punjab, you have solved for Haryana, so we cover topics for all the states in our means blueprints. So Naina, next we want to ask you that in edges, GK and GS का भी बहुत important role है. So how did you handle GK and GS?
Yes, sir. Because of course one has to study a lot there's a vast area in law itself that one has to cover. Likewise, languages also play a huge role. So I also focused on languages. So it barely left me any time to focus upon general science or general knowledge. And I also did not have it left in me to go through another book or go through another reading to cover the syllabus of general science. So what I would do was that I limited myself to watching YouTube videos. I would watch videos of the main topics like ancient history of India or modern history of India, bite-sized information, and in 1 hour video at 2x speed while eating food. So that really helped me save my time also. And it because they're visual in nature, and a lot of them are also animated or even otherwise. So it really helped me, and it gave me information which I could really easily digest and remember it. So this is what I did for general science.
Also, for the GK and GS part, we have concept treasures, which are in the visual learning format. So while referring it, how did you find them?
So they were, I did go through, glance through them, and they're also very visual in nature. The information is very easy to digest. And I think, but I must mention, one can make better use of it. I'm sure that, the aspirants going through it would find it very suitable and useful.
Okay, Nana. Nana, it is really interesting to see that you have used the premium content in a very systematic manner with a proper technique. So I want to ask you, because many of your audience would be going to be of Edzorb law, and generally जो दूसरे students भी होंगे, those who are using a free content of Edzorb, as you know कि around 10 to 15% of our premium content is free for all. So what is your advice कि best utilization of Edzorb law content कैसे होना चाहिए? How to utilize the Edzorb law content in a best possible manner?
I must let out a secret here. Of course, I was utilizing, I had access to Premium Plus course at all times, but I personally was not able to utilize Premium Question Bank a lot. I must not even have solved 1/10 of the question bank because it's very, very huge. And I did not have it in me to solve the entire question bank. And I found it so daunting that, of course, before Punjab, I ended up solving a little bit of it. Even before Delhi, I solved some questions. But before Haryana, I did not solve anything from question bank. I, in fact, only used the the free data that was provided by Edzorb. They provided past years of all the states. So I restricted myself to that for Haryana. And it was free, but I did not have to search it on internet. I did not have to find answers for it. And it was very convenient for me. And I was able to manage a decent score also. So it's very useful. One should go through it. In addition to that, they also, I think, provide vocabulary days to word of the day. So I think it's very useful. One can really go through the free information which is provided, and it makes a difference.
Also, why we provide so much of free content, because we believe that when a notification pops up on your screen each and every day, be it of quiz or be it of vocabulary or be it of anything, there's a zeal to learn a new thing. What is coming up? What is next? What Edzorb is launching? So we try to launch one or the other initiative in every 10 to 15 days, so that all the Edzorbians, all our free users are into this mode ki we have to learn something new. We have to solve this particular free quiz or the buckle up quiz or anything. And that is something which we love to provide students, and students are expecting this from us as well. So Nena, we have also, as you were also a regular user of Edzorb studies, and we have seen that some of the days you studied there till 2 a.m. in the night. So do you want to share the experience about the Edzorb study space as well?
Of course, I think if Blueprints is my favorite feature, Edzorb Study Space is my second favorite feature. Uh, I think I was all because for me, I was of course cooped up in my room, and of course, any aspirant is required to put in sitting hours ranging from 6 to 12 hours every day, and it gets very difficult to be productive day in day out. Especially when you also do not know if there's any vacancy which shall be out anytime soon, and even otherwise when you do not know when your exam is in sight. And Edzorb Study Space really came as a savior, because I remember there was a lot of time in between my Punjab preliminary examination and my Punjab mains examination. There was a gap of 4 5 months, if I'm not wrong. And but because I had access to Edzorb Study Space, it gave a lot of structure to my day. I knew that I would see familiar faces, and I also found myself accountable, even if there was nobody, there was just the executive of Edzorb. I found myself accountable to be productive and to not waste my time. And even otherwise, I think there are definitely some other online platforms as well which provide online libraries or online study spaces. But I mean, there's one might find myself entangled in some sort of cyber crime, and it might, or some sort of hacking, and or just untowardly behavior in general of these strangers. But because of course it's such a guarded space of people who are also preparing for the same exam as you are, in a very similar mindset as you are, so it was very very good, and I personally really endorse it. I think it's also a free feature, and one should really go for it. It's definitely, it's made a lot of difference in my preparation personally.
And then now we have seen lot of students who just sit there and study because they see ki other person, the competitor, is studying there around 8 to 10 hours. So even though they do not want to study more than 4 to 5 hours, then also they sit and study because they feel ki if my competitor can study for 10 hours, why I cannot? So think this also brings some motivation in them to study and prepare well with Edzorb. So Nana, coming to the next question, that a lot of people have profile insecurity, that there's a gap year, work experience nahi hai, we are not from NLU, etc., etc. So do you think all these things matter in the exam, interview, or even in your selection process, or it's just a myth?
It is 100% a myth. I really do not think it makes any difference at all. I mean, if we look at the past trends, even the trends this time, the majority of the students are not from national law universities. They're from traditional colleges. And even otherwise, I mean, so many students, I mean, people just have to pick up the past year results. There are people ranging from, born 10 years back to born, I mean, just graduated. So I really do not think it makes any difference. I mean, up until mains examination, the examiner does not even know whose answer key they are checking. Even in the interview, I think it doesn't really make that much of a difference.
All right, Nana, since we're talking about profile insecurity, and this is usually connected with interview. So could you please tell us about your interview journey and the kind of questions that were being asked to you?